Somebody on your team gets asked for a one-page read on a vendor before it goes to committee. It sounds small. It is not. They open the ratings, the screening, the attestation, the services, and they start stitching it into a story. Half a day later, there is a page, and the hard part was never finding the data. It was deciding alone whether all of it actually adds up to a yes. Here's what one run puts on the record instead. The recommendation lands first in the very first word. Escalate to risk committee. Not a score, not a color, a call a person can carry into the room. And notice what it refused to do. It looked at a vendor carrying a very high residual rating, and it would not rubber stamp it. Now the reason, and this is the part worth sitting with. The outside signals on this vendor look strong. Solid security ratings, a healthy risk index, clean external telemetry. A tired reviewer sees green and moves on. This one reads further. The very high residual rating was attested but never validated because the vendor has 0 completed assessments and the review is already overdue. The vendor attested 209 of 225 global risk exchange controls. But attesting is not the same as being checked, and no one has checked. So the agent trusts that gap over the friendly scores, and it says so plainly. Then, the section every generated summary should have, and almost none do. What it cannot see. There is no completed assessment behind the rating, no SOC 2 report, no penetration test on file, and no cyber insurance on record. There is no sub-processor list for a vendor that would sit inside your own network. And 22 screening results are still open, none of them resolved. It papers over none of it. It lists each hole, ties it to the control it belongs to, and lets the emptiness be the finding. Then it turns the page into work. 5 actions, each with an owner and a clock. Finish the overdue assessment. Clear the open screening inside 2 weeks. Get the encryption and sub-processor evidence before anyone trusts that network access. Reconcile the service that has no signed agreement behind it. Nothing here onboards anybody. The agent gathered the evidence, said plainly which parts it could not verify, and handed a person a decision they can defend in front of the committee. That is the executive risk reporter. Risk.